chapter 16, beginning at verse 13 down to verse 19. The word of God reads as follows. When Jesus came to the region of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, "Who do people say the Son of Man is?" They replied, "Some say John the Baptist, others say Elijah, and still others Jeremiah or one of the prophets." "But what about you?" he asked. "Who do you say I am?" Simon Peter spoke up and said, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." Jesus replied, "Blessed are you, Simon, son of Jonah, for this was not revealed to you by man, but by my Father in heaven." And this is our text. "And I tell you that you are Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell will not prevail against it. And I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. Whatever you bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. And I tell you that you are Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church." For a few moments this afternoon on King's Deliverance, on your 49th anniversary, I want to preach with this thought in our minds: a ministry that shines when others hate. A ministry that shines when others hate. There are some hateful people in this world. There are people who will hate on you and don't even need a reason for their hatred. Some folk will hate on you without knowing anything about you. And the strangest thing of all is that hate has a way of getting people together who don't even like each other so that they can jointly hate on you. And my brothers and sisters, never has this idea of folk who don't like each other getting together to hate on you been more proven, deacons, than in our own churches. I know that I have shocked some of you and stunned some others, because some of you already scream me, but believe you me, there is no hate, Reverend Royster, like church folk hate. Church folk will hate on you for stuff that either has nothing to do with you or for stuff that you aren't even aware of. Church folk will hate on you for sitting in their seat on Sunday morning. It's their seat. Their name ain't on it. Ain't nothing that belongs to them there, but it's their seat because they sit there every Sunday. Church folk will hate on you for talking to folk that they don't like because they believe that if they don't like them and you are a friend of theirs, then you shouldn't be liking them either. Church folk will hate on you because of the way that you praise the Lord. You shout too much. You always got a testimony. You always telling folk and thanking the Lord for all he has done for you. And church folk will hate on you and they will even hate on you if you, they believe, are not the one that should be in a leadership position. Don't you think I'm playing? I'm talking like I don't know. Church folk will hate on deacons, trustees, ushers, and even the pastor. And I believe that the biggest mistake is that too many folk have made the mistake of believing that they are not members of the church, but owners of the church. And in this text, Jesus establishes total ownership by informing the disciples that he is in the process of building his church. He did not say, "Upon Peter, I'm going to build my church," because God knew that Peter was a thug. Peter was shaky. Y'all don't believe me? My Bible says that when they went to arrest Jesus, after he was in the Garden of Gethsemane, Peter was the one that pulled out the switchblade. Peter was the one that had the knife and started swinging. He did not say, "I'm building my church on Peter," but Jesus just iterated that he has been, he always will continue to be about his Father's business. So he gets the boys together and asks that marvelous question: "Who do folks say that I am?" Now they come back and say, well, some say you John the Baptist, some say you're Elijah, some say you're one of the prophets. But then Jesus asked the most important question he's ever asked. Okay, you've told me who other folks say that I am, but what I want to know is, what do you say I am? Y'all missed it. I gave you something to shout about, and you missed it. For the most important question you have in your salvation is that you know who Jesus is for yourself. Nobody should have a better testimony than you. After 49 years, King Deliverance, you ought to have a praise on your lips and a testimony in your heart that lets folk know, I don't know what he is to you, but Lord, just give me a second and I'll tell you everything he is to me. He's a way out of no way. He's a rock in a weary land. He's a shelter in a time of storm. He's my friend when I was friendless. He's my mother when I was motherless. He's made ways for me. He's opened doors for me. I could spend all night telling you how good God has been to me. Jesus says the most important thing you ought to know is, who do you say that I am? Now I know some of y'all are looking at me strange. Let me see if I can illustrate the idea of how good God is to you. Now most of you know First Corinthians and King Deliverance. I work downtown at a hotel, and last night I had a bad experience. Young man came to me. He was locked out the room, and the rule says unless he is the registered guest, I can't let him back in the room until I talk to the registered guest. So I asked him, well, who's the registered guest? He said, my father. I said, okay, where is your father? Well, my father is not here. But my brother is also a registered guest of the room. I said, well, where is your brother? Well, my brother is not here either. Wait a minute. Your father is not here. Your brother is not here. I can't help you. So we need to get in contact with either your father and your brother. You ever been in a situation when the folk you need most ain't around at that time? King Deliverance, you celebrating 49 years. Now, I understand in them 49 years we celebrated, but you have to admit, during them 49 years, there's been some good days and some bad days. You had some folk who were with you only while things were doing well. But when things started slowing down, when things started happening, when you start hitting some rocks in some weary lands, when stuff got thick, things got thin. First Corinthians knows I've said this many times, but King Deliverance, this is for you. Understand that in these 49 years, you discovered that everybody by your side wasn't always on your side. But I want you to know, okay, Michael, how do I have and how do I protect a ministry that shines when others start to hate? Three things and I'm done. Number one, you can have a ministry that shines because you understand that a ministry that shines will keep you woke while folk try to make you sleep. All right. Okay. In this day and time, we need to be real and recognize that the world is trying to make you sleepy. And they're trying to make you sleepy because they are trying to make you believe that you can't make a difference. But my Bible lets me know that my God plus one is a majority. You can make a difference. Don't let folks think just because you down on Fulton Avenue that you can't make a difference. You need to be a beacon that draws lost souls to Christ. And if God still has you here after 49 years, recognize the fact that God has you here for a purpose and for a reason. And if God has you here for a purpose and a reason, stop worrying about what happens around you. Don't let it infect you or get inside of you so that it cannot harm you. Because if God lets you be here for 49 years, don't you know God ain't through with you yet? 49 years might be long for somebody, but it's just an eyelash, an eye blink, in the eyes of God. Remember that a ministry that shines will keep you woke while folk try to make you sleep. The second thing, well, how do I keep a ministry that shines while others hate? Number two, you understand that a ministry that shines will continue to shine when you recognize that when haters come for you, Jesus will come for them. How do I know? Because Jesus said, upon this rock I'll build my church, and the gates of hell will not prevail. Hold it. Jesus said that the gates of hell would not prevail. He did not say that the gates of hell wouldn't be there.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
What you saying, Michael? I'm saying that some folk are full of church.
All right. All right.
And some folk are full of hell. Well, how do I tell the difference? How do you tell the difference between the church, the people that are full of church, and the people that are full of hell? Watch, when God blesses you, watch and see who shouts for you.
That's right.
When God makes a way out of no way, watch and see who celebrates with you. All of us got haters. It's like an old McDonald's situation. There's a hater over here, a hater over there. Here a hater, there a hater. Everywhere, somebody hates. But a ministry that shines will hold you. And when you realize that when haters come for you, Jesus will come for them. How do I know? Because I want Pastor to know that there's a difference between position and power. Okay. We were discussing downstairs, the deacons and I. Reverend Moisture, there's a difference between position and power. You can have position and not necessarily have power.
That's right. That's right.
Okay? President 45 got position. See, I ain't saying that. All right? Abraham Lincoln had position, but Harriet Tubman had power. Woodrow Wilson had position, but W.E.B. Du Bois had power. The Montgomery Busing Authority had position, but Rosa Parks had power. Lyndon Johnson had position, but Martin Luther King Jr. had power. Let me go biblical. Pharaoh had position, but Moses had power. Saul had position, but David had power. You're not getting this. King Nebuchadnezzar had position, but Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego had power. Pilate had position, but Jesus had power. When haters come for you, Jesus will come for them. How do I know? Did not David say he prepares a table before me in the presence of my enemies? That's why when you leave here today, King's Deliverance, you need to go home and text somebody and call somebody and thank them for being your enemy. Thank them for hating on you. Thank them for not liking you. Because of you, because of them, that you got your blessing. There are some blessings that you can only get when you are surrounded by your enemies, because God loves to show off. And God will bless you in the middle of your enemies and put you in a position where there is nothing that they can do about it. A ministry that shines will keep you woke while folk try to make you sleep. A ministry that shines will continue when you recognize that when haters come for you, Jesus will come for them. And the last thing, and I'm done, a ministry that shines will prove your identity and predict your destiny to move you to a higher level in Christ. We used to sing that song in church, Pastor Jones, I'm pressing on the upward way. New heights I'm gaining every day. Still praying as I'm onward bound. Lord, plant my feet on higher ground. Lord, lift me up. Lord, let me stand thy faith on heaven's table at a higher place that I have found. Lord, plant my feet on higher ground.
Yes, yes, yes.
When you know your identity, in other words, when you know who you are and whose you are, you can handle stuff wherever you are. I said it before, I say it again. God is not through with you yet. Does not the word say all things work together? Not some things, all things, the good and the bad, the ups and the downs. We are children of God. We know there is no such thing as living on a mountaintop from a mountaintop. You don't jump from mountaintop to mountaintop. You got to spend some time in the valleys. And how many of you know that God is not only a mountaintop God, but he's also a valley God? Okay, Deacon, I figured it out, deacons. I figured why some folk haven't shouted yet. Y'all still worried about that boy that I told you was locked out the room and couldn't get in, and his daddy wasn't around and his brother wasn't around. He told me, I said, well, I don't know if there's anything I can do. He said, hold it. I got an idea. And he ran somewhere. I don't know where he ran. I didn't see him for a whole hour and a half. But when he came back, he was in a happy mood. I said, sir, did you get everything straightened out? He said, yeah. I said, well, you got in the room? He said, yes, sir. I said, well, what did you do? He said, well, I called my father, who called my brother, and my brother came to let me in. You missed the shot. Let me try it again. I called my father, who then called my brother, who then came and let me in. You didn't shout. Let me explain it this way. The father called the son, and the son came and straightened it out. When you are faced with a ministry that will shine when haters hate, all you gotta do is when things get thick, just step back, call the father. The father will in turn call the son. And then the son will show up to straighten everything out.
Yes, it will.
Upon this rock, I'll build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. A ministry that shines when others hate.